Hi everyone. You planted your spring garden, but this is where most people ruin it, right now. And chances are you've already done at least one of these and you don't even know it yet. Now everything still looks fine, but it's already going in the wrong direction. So today I'm going to share with you how you might be ruining your garden before you even get started for spring, so you can fix it and catch it now so you don't lose your harvest. Here's the first one, and this is where most people get into trouble before the season even starts. You planted way more than you can actually keep up with. Now the problem is everything's small when you first plant it, and that's where it gets you because it all looks manageable right now. You've got space, so you fill it. A couple of plants here, a few more here, and it doesn't feel like a big deal. And right now, it's not. But give it a couple of weeks and it all hits at once. And you've got stuff everywhere, ready to pick, things falling over, things you meant to tie up, and now everything needs you at the same time because you've planted more than you can handle. So you come out here thinking, I'll just do a quick pass, and you're already behind. Now you're rushing, you're skipping things, and this is where you start to lose it. Now it feels like a ton of work. You come out to your garden less, and pretty soon the garden looks full, but you're not getting much harvest. I've done this so many times. So here's how you know if this is happening. Think about how much time you're really out here most days. Not ideal, but reality. For most people, it's about 30 minutes. About one or maybe two beds, plus a couple of containers is what you can handle with this kind of time. If you've got more than that going, that's where this starts to break down once everything really takes off. So here's a quick way to check yourself. Pick one bed, start working on it like you normally would, harvest a few things, clean it out a little bit, and set a timer for 10 minutes. When your timer goes off, stop. If you're not done with your work in your bed, by that point, that's your answer. That one bed is already taking more than you think. So here's what I started doing that fixed it. If things are still small, you don't need to add anything else. You don't need more to get a good harvest. Now, if things are already filling in and getting a little bit too thick, go ahead and thin it out, like this lettuce here. You can thin it out, take out one plant. If two plants are right on top of each other, take one out. Now, I know this is really hard to do, but give the one that is doing best the room it needs to actually grow. And if your whole entire garden is starting to feel like a lot, pick your main beds, the ones that you actually want food from, and then focus on those. Let the rest be simpler. It's okay if you don't plant every single space in your garden. The goal is simple. You want to come out here, work in your garden, and feel done. If you walk out here and you already feel behind, that's your warning sign. So fix it now at the beginning of the season, because once everything fills in, you don't catch up, you just keep falling behind. Now this next mistake, this is where your plants start growing, but your harvest really drops because you don't give your plants the support or the structure they need from the start. And it's sneaky because everything looks fine now, but give it a couple of weeks and everything's gonna grow. And you forget about that. Your plants will be leaning into each other, they might be falling over, then they're gonna be blocking light from each other, holding moisture in, maybe not getting enough airflow, so they're getting pests and diseases. And now everything is just harder to deal with. And this is where people say, everything grew, but I didn't get much. And this is why. Because once this gets crowded, you're not really fixing it anymore. You're just trying to keep it under control. So when you're looking at your bed, just ask yourself, what in here is going to spread or climb? Tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, or beans, anything like that needs support early. If it's going to grow up or out, it needs something to grow on now, not later. Throw in a cage, add a stake, set up a trellis while it's still small. It's a lot easier to do it then. Because if you wait, you're not setting it up. What you're doing is you're trying to untangle it. Now this is what I do. I put my support in first. These are my Garden Your Way arches. I use them for my tomatoes to climb up and my cucumbers. They're strong enough to hold a full plant like these without bending or falling over. So instead of the plant collapsing, it grows up, it stays open, it's way easier to deal with, and once it's in, I'm done. I'm not coming back later and trying to fix this. Now, spacing for trellises. This is the other part people miss. You should be able to reach into your plant easily. If your hand can't fit in there right now, it's already too tight. Give plants space for how big they're going to get, not how they look today. Because once this all fills in, you're not fixing it, but you are fighting it. And this definitely cuts into your harvest and can easily ruin your garden and ruin the fun that you're having out here. Next mistake is where it really starts to catch up with you and has real potential to ruin your garden. You planted everything all at once, and now it's all coming in at the same time. This is where you might think you did everything right, and you're still not getting much. This is where a lot of people lose the payoff and ruin your garden. It feels productive to get all that done and check it off your list, and right now it looks great, but then everything starts coming in at the same time. And this is where it starts to catch up with you. Now you've got way more than you can use. You miss a day at harvesting and now things are overripe. You're so overwhelmed you might even skip harvesting, and the plants start slowing down because you're not harvesting. And then you're standing out in your garden thinking, why am I not getting more from all this? This is why, and I've done this too. So just take a look at your bed, and if everything is about the same size, you planted it all at once. So here's what I started doing that fixed it. Instead of planting the whole entire bed, break it up. Plant part of it now, and then leave some empty spaces, and then come back in about a week or two and plant the rest. Even that small gap spreads your harvest out in a big way and makes it more manageable. And just mix things up a little bit. Don't plant everything the same. Put fast-growing crops like greens next to slower ones like squash or tomatoes. So something is always ready for you to harvest, but not everything all at once, so you don't get overwhelmed. And if you're already in it, have already planted everything, and everything's coming in together, start picking earlier. Don't wait for perfect. Pick your squash when it's smaller, your eggplant when it's smaller. Pick your tomatoes even when they're a little bit green so the pests don't get them. That takes the pressure off of the plant and the pressure off of you, so you're enjoying your garden a lot more. Because when everything hits at once and you're not staying on top of it, you're just reacting to it, getting overwhelmed, not enjoying your garden, your enjoyment is ruined and your garden could possibly be ruined too. Don't want to do that. And this last one, this one's probably already happening. You're watering in a way that's actually weakening your plants, even though it feels like you're doing everything right. Because this is what happens. You come out here, you give everything a quick water, maybe every day even, but you're just kind of hitting the surface and then you move on. And it feels like you're staying on top of it, but the water never really goes down deep. So the roots stay right near the surface, and then you start seeing it. Plants stall out, leaves droop as soon as it warms up, and growth just kind of sits there. And you're out here watering, but it's not actually fixing anything. And this is where it gets really frustrating, because watering like that takes a ton of time. You miss a day, and then you rush it the next day. You don't go deep enough, and now the plants really start to suffer. And this is where usually people start to enjoy it less. So here's what actually works. When you water, slow it down and keep it at the base, and let it run long enough that the moisture actually goes down about 6 to 8 inches. Not a quick spray, but a real deep soak. Then stop and leave it alone. Don't come back the next day just because the top looks dry. Stick your finger in. If it's still damp below, leave it, so you're not overwatering. Because that cycle, deep watering, then letting it dry out a bit, that's what builds strong roots. And strong roots mean that you're gonna get a lot more production out of your garden. And this is exactly why I've used drip irrigation for a long time, because this part, the consistency, is where most people fall off. With the simple setup here from Mr. Landscaper, it's slow, it's right at the base, it's consistent. I'm not out here guessing every day. I have all my irrigation on a timer, and the plants respond to that. If you don't have drip irrigation, you can do this by hand, but just know this is the part that most people can't stay consistent with. And your plants feel that fast, and they pay the price. This is why I've relied on drip for so long. It just takes the pressure off, so your plants stay consistent even when you can't be. So these little things we've talked about today is exactly where gardens get ruined. Not all at once, but just things like this right after you plant. But if you catch these early, gardening stays easy and actually produces. If you miss them, this is exactly where all that effort starts slipping away. What's one thing you're already seeing in your garden right now? What's starting to go sideways? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.